All right, so a long time I haven't seen you guys, and you me as well. And there were a couple of questions from people watching, but I think it wouldn't be a long video because there will be an internet failure because I will drive to countryside now. And the questions were about well, not questions. I would like to just talk about my latest discovery. So a couple of days ago I went to sleep and I asked to just I would tell everybody, recommend to, before you go to sleep, focus on the question you want to ask, and before you go to sleep, just tell like to the above, to the beings above, whatever you think you know or think you have or might have, just ask, can you please show me something like can you please show me the answer to this question, or can you just please answer my question in my dream state? And then the next morning I woke up with this idea about probability theory, or as it turned out, it's fractal geometry, geometrics, you would say. And this was an stunning information for me for like a couple of days, but now it's already passed out. But I want to just like clarify my discoveries about this. So there was a man who discovered fractal geometry like several years or tens of years ago, like maybe it's in the previous century, or maybe in the early 1980s or so. And his discovery was based on, well, he somehow discovered it. It doesn't matter what it was based on, but he somehow discovered it. But it really turned out many people, to him, he was rejected as some kind of a pointless or useless mathematical illustration of whatever. But to me it came in a completely different way, this fractal geometry. To me it came from the informational field as probability theory, and the all universe is this universe in which we are is split out into a perfect balance of probabilities, or you may call it duality, and I will expand this a little bit. So for example, as you are driving from point to point or walking from point to point, you come to a place where you need to make a decision. For example, I'll be driving somewhere and I will be making a left or a right turn. I will need to make a decision. And these things repeat over and over time. But the funniest thing is that if you would take 3,000 corners or 3,000 turns, you would make exactly or nearly as exact of 1,500 lefts and 1,500 rights. Now, this is a way of universe balancing out. So all the time you will be not making right turns. This is how the universe is built, and all the time you will be not making only left turns. And then was like, wait, this is so interesting. And another point of view, I will talk it more and more in detail. This is just to give a brief beginning of this video. Is, for example, well, take a coin. It has two sides. Like take our planet, it has two sides, the ground and the sky, like the sun. And for example, a coin, you can flip either tails or heads. A coin can be flipped, and you will have one or the other. But the point is, if you spin it, if you throw it 3,000 times, you will have equal spreads. You will have equal heads and tails. It can differ a little bit, like from 3,000 throws, maybe one is, for example, tails is like 1,510 and heads is 1,490, but overall it's the same. It's a complete balance. It's a perfect balance. But the most interesting thing is that you can also calculate how many heads in a row you will have, because there will be a probability that it's more than guaranteed that definitely you will have 5 heads in a row and 5 tails in a row in those 300 throws. So there is a perfect balance, and it's like a mathematical formula about this. The thing is, then I was like, okay, everything is a probability. Now, if you think about this, definitely on this planet Earth there is equal spread of woman and male, equal spread. Definitely, because of the probability, there should be. And this is the probability theory. Is not just a theory. It's how I understand it. It's a way of how is the universe built, how is this matrix built, and it's built just because to have a balance, just to have a balance. Now, and I was like thinking, now this was before I look at the Fractal Geometry videos, which somebody sent me after I made the Latvian version of this video. There was, I looked at trees. I was like, oh my God, a tree can actually be programmed from this probability theory. And there are concepts what you can use. For example, you don't need to design the tree and plant it into its seed, and it grows out by a program. Grow left, light, and I will have skin like this. You can just program a couple of variables inside the DNA structure of the tree. For example, for example, the seed grow. The root grows from the bottom. The heads go from the head of the tree grows from the top. It grows out. It grows down. It spreads. Now, when you start making the first branch of the tree, make it in a proportion like, and this is where the Fibonacci numbers come in also. A Fibonacci number is basically a number that cannot be divided. It's like 1.333333, 2.66666, 1.999. And how you can make Fibonacci numbers is, how can you make Fibonacci numbers is 1 plus 2, so 1 plus 2, so 2, the next Fibonacci number is 3, because those are previous two numbers, sum of the previous two numbers. And then after 3 is 5. So 3 divided by 5 would be the number 1.3333 or 1.6666, it doesn't matter. But it's a number that cannot be divided. So it's the number that will constantly have an infinite results at the ending. So when the first branch reaches 1/3, or at the 1/3, or after 0.83 like centimeters, like it's a proportion, make the first split, grow 2 branches, or one straight and one left on the side. Make a proportion. If those are 2, then equal spreads of energy to each. So, for example, diameter to each. But if it's a different DNA structure, for example, it can be programmed differently. The seed, make one straight and one left branch, and go constantly like this. But on a dimensional scale, everything will be fine. But as long as we go to a tri-dimensional scale, you can use the probability for it to aim left in an angle like this, like this, like this, like this, in the angle of radius. Like, let's say, you can go north, south, east, random. You can make it random. It will be a probability theory. But after 3,000 branches or spreading of branches, everything will be equally spreaded. And just because of these probability theory, because one branch goes there, one on the opposite, one on the left, one on the right, and so on, it's a random. But after 3,000 branches, or if you take 3,000 trees and combine it, the same tree in one, like a 3-dimensional, you put 3,000 trees on a single graphic, I believe you will get a perfect that's how you say, shape of the tree, a perfect balanced out shape of the radius of the tree. For example, like a Christmas tree grows like this, and apple tree maybe like this, like a round. And not all trees are perfectly round because of the probability for each branch where to go. But if you put 3,000 trees together, they definitely will be perfectly round. And I want to talk about this a little bit more expanded, because just because of the probability where the branches to split, you can see at every tree that it is standing there. The tree doesn't fall whether to the left or whether to the right. It's standing there. And for example, now keep in mind, there's another difference. For example, the less tree has branched, the less branches the tree have, the longer the tree is. The longer the tree is, for example, how it looks like is basically, imagine if you split one branch, then the branch splits in two branches, then each of these two branches split to another two branches, and each of the another two branches split to another two branches. The next branch will be shorter, and the next branch will be shorter, and the next branch will be shorter, because the tree needs to spend a lot more energy on each of the split. So for example, how it would be if a DNA is programmed to have more splits, and like this, the next split occurs on the 1/3 of the first branch height, for example, and every 1/3, it automatically means that the tree will have like how does I call it? Like, but if the tree is programmed to have a couple of splits, but not like at 1/3, like 2/3 or so, the tree will be much longer. The tree will be much longer, like the pine trees we have like here. It's like 30 meters long, and only a couple of branches, and only a couple of splits of the branch. And this is all divided down to probability theory. And the probability theory comes in hand, like, first of all, the tree wants to aim to the sky, because it's the opposite side. When we channeled one time the polarities, and everything that grows, they want to reach the opposite polarity and making a perfect balance. And this is when I thought about, male and female energy. Like a male, he wants to go straight and focus straight. A female, she runs around, and like gathering anything and picking up everything, and going shopping, and she's like all around. And so let's get back to the tree. So for example, this was the idea also that was thinking about the mind, the human mind, smaller and smaller and smaller. It basically looks the same as a bush, and it's the same as kidneys and lungs. The blood arteries, they also splitted. So basically, to make a human DNA or make a human to work, you basically need just this couple algorithms, this concept of probability, that, and each next, it looks basically the same as a tree. It looks basically definitely the same as a tree. So looking at this, you don't need to program all these arteries. You need to just program a simple matrix, proportion matrix. And now the next thing is a tree or a human mind. For example, if the Fibonacci numbers like 1.3333 and so, if they constantly split and split, they will move to the next moment where it's impossible to split. Like 13333, next split again 13333, and the tree will split again because it will not find like a perfect point, like 2 and 2, like 1 and 1, like 4 and 4, like when equals, and it just stops. We find a conclusion, we stop our evolution, it stops. No, it's created 1.3333. So when the split happens, make another split. Don't make it in, for example, if a tree grows, it always will have a split. And if it's an equal spread, like 2 and 2, like in the half, at one point it will not have any more spreads. It will not have any more splitting points. It will just stop growing. So I was looking at mine, the same also about the Fibonacci numbers. It's like in like comparison, it will be the same as, I will stop also to have a look at the tree. I will stop where it's the most beautiful tree right here on the road. In the comparisons of the mind, it will be that it automatically means that mind will never have a conclusion. Now I understand everything. It will never have. Once it gets to a point where I understand something, it splits into another probabilities of now there's something more to understand, and now there's something other more to understand. And you'll have, now I just had the understanding a couple of moments ago, but now there are two more things that I want to understand. And the overall point of the 1.333 is that we in human minds will never have a complete understanding, nor it will never solve a problem. The purpose and how this matrix, how this life is created, is it's like an infinite process. It's like an infinite process of ongoing stuff. It's like through these numbers, it's like you can make it clear that it's like an infinite process that never stops. And by understanding this, you understand that there will be never end of the world. There will be never such end of the world. And this was also an interesting thing about the Fibonacci's. So, and then I watched the video about, somebody gave me this video about, this is related to this topic about the fractal numbers or the fractal geometry, and there were a couple of things which I really liked. Well, first of all, a fractal means that the more you enter closer and closer to the border of the object, the more you reveal the same pattern occurring again and again and again. So basically, if you look at a tree and you like take a microscope, look into a leaf, there will be the same pattern occurring over and over again. The spreads of the whatever the leaf has, the cells, where the water flows like arteries or veins. And you take that another deeper, they will be again repeating the same pattern. You will see the same pattern in like a cellular level. And then if you take even more closer, even the own cells will have the same pattern over and over again. So which basically reveals that the universe is infinite. And there was one man pointing out this theory, which I liked. Is like, can you measure the coast of United Kingdom? How long is the coast? And he said the coast is infinitely long. You will never measure the coast. And he pointed out the idea that, which was also interesting. For example, if you take the coast from the satellite, you can like take like a centimeter, multiply it by the ratio of the satellite image, and you will get like a approximate size of the Long Island, the shore coast size. You will say it's like probability of 10,000 kilometers, for example. But if you get closer to the coast, there's these waves and the forms of the coast, and you need a much more preciser measurement instrument to measure that the coast. And then you will come up that it's a little bit bigger, because when you put the coast was like this, and you put a larger measurement like this measurement instrument, and you missed out the probability of this angle right here. But if you want to measure this angle, you need smaller and smaller lines to measure that coast, and you will have the coast will be much bigger than the actual measurement you were using. So the actual coast is much bigger when you're using a more detailed measurement. But the thing is, and now you get to the level of the sands, and now you get to the level much more closer, there will be even smaller gaps. And when you zoom into those gaps will have even smaller gaps, and basically will turn out that the size of the coast is infinitely long, because you will never have an example. Now this tells something else, that basically if you look into atoms, they are like, then it turns out the image of the universe, like back to the universe, atoms are also split out like planets rotating each around. And when you zoom out our solar system, and then you zoom out, there's basically more and more planets. And some people have made like a satellite images that basically those planets also turn to like a system of, like a routing system. So what I wanted to tell is that basically the amazement of how this universe is built is so amazing. It's so amazing in a way how genius the mathematics is. So let's stop with the chi. So anyway, to me, they pointed out, in my understanding, a couple of things. First of all, you don't need to worry about success or not success when you succeed or when you have failed, because you will, after many times, I always say 3,000 times, because it will point out more preciser the probability. to be precise, not like 10 throws or 10 times, but you will have an equal spread of success, an equal spread of fails in your life. There will be always, and always there will be somebody that likes you and somebody that hates you and dislikes you. And there will be always somebody who is really, really rich and somebody who is really, really poor. There will be always like this. There will be like a perfect balance of everything. There will be like a complete balance of everything. And this is how the universe is made. I was like, whoa, this is so interesting. And then at one point I was like a couple of days ago, I was in the city center, and I was like just standing and watching outside the window, and I was amazed. The only person in this world or in this planet which I am, or which I see, the only person or only thing that is not in harmony is humans. Because the probability theory wants to bring balance back to the society. It wants to bring balance back to the overall universe. That's why it has, the more something is out of scale, the more it will bring back to its original state. And the faster it comes back to its original state, it drops below, and then it wants to get back like waves. You can see it also with waves on the shore. Where the ocean or whatever, one wave goes up, and the higher it goes, the other wave next to it will go down, and the lower it goes. And so at those moments, the probability theory or the balance mechanism works, because there is no one wave higher than the sky or something like this. So, and it points out there's only one species, I would say, well, maybe more than one species, that are not in a balance or in a harmony with universe, and those are humans. I was like looking how there was like some kind of flowers growing, and I was looking at them. They are in the flowers are in a perfect harmony. They don't judge, they just allow the universe to be. They allow the universe in a complete presence. They allow the universe to be as it is. They don't judge, they don't run. They are not in a state, oh, I feel bad, I need to do something, or I feel good, I need to run somewhere. They are not in this state. All the flower or the trees are doing, they're just allowing the balance mechanism or the universe harmony to just be as it is. They don't do anything. They just allow it to be as it is and be in a completely balanced state. And this is the same as when we channeled the beings from the higher planes. They don't have this ability or let's say illness that we have, that we want to run, we want to achieve, we want to succeed, because we feel the lack, we feel something is out of balance, and we need to attain, we need to run for it, we need to get it. And then we run, do something. That's when I was looking. The flowers or the trees next to me were just enjoying the sun in absolute presence, in absolute, let's say, the now state. But the humans were driving, running, going, constantly. They were crazy doing something. And it was like, if you just understand that there or you will have a probability of succeeding or failing, getting on time, or not, or missing the appointment. There will always be a probability for you to miss or for you to be on time, like 50-50. So you don't need to even worry about something. You don't need to actually worry about something in your life. So basically, I was like thinking now, but it turns out in this case that I got so much peace inside of me. It was like, there will be always a left turn, and there will be always a right turn. There will be always success in your life, and there will be always like a loss or a frustration or a sadness in your life. You don't need to worry about this. It's just a way of universe balancing things. And the more you are in balance, now this is the other topic which is also an interesting idea. The more you are in balance, the more harmonious your life becomes, without those strong swings, ups and downs, ups and downs. So, and my conclusion about that basically humans are artificially made out of balance. You know these ideas of wars, these ideas of new news, some kind of a economical crisis and something. There's the like people in charge, or let's say they are interested just to make more and more out balance, just to have panics, just to like sell something more on fear based. Just if something is out of balance, there are lots of swings up and down, and it's more to like create business, let's say, out of this. And whenever a human comes into harmony, there is no, like, let's say, easy way to disconnect him from the harmony. And I want to talk about how you can get in harmony. So basically, being in a harmony means being focused on the thing that you are doing. Don't run away from the thing that you are doing. Let's say you want to become an artist, or like a famous artist or something. You fail one time and you're like, oh, I will never succeed, I will never be an artist, and you throw away the things you don't even pay attention to. But if you understand that you will have success the same amount as you have losses in your life, and I believe there are no one person who is highly successful that he didn't have fails in his life. It's not possible to be like this. There may be like times of lots of success, and then times of huge fails. There may be like a win, like a success win streak is larger than the fail streak. But the idea of the balancing is that when you practice, just okay. When you fail, it's okay. It's no difference. When you succeed, it's okay. It's no difference. But you feel this vision, and you feel when you want to go. You feel the thing where you want to do. And the thing is, do it constantly. Don't do it like once a week and then once a month. Do it constantly, like every day or every week. You do it, and you will bring success in your life from point. If you are in a balance, if you're not judging, if you're not pointing yourself, you just don't pay attention. Like success and fail is automatically. You do not even think about this. And the thing is, I put it out one comparison for a lady who she goes to markets like countryside markets where it's like broad daylight markets. Everybody is on the street and selling something they have produced. And this one particular lady, she was producing crafts like clothes and stuff like this, dresses. And I told her, you don't need to even think about the success you will have. You don't even think about, because there will be days that you will have huge success, and there will be days that you will have less success. But the overall average will definitely turn out positive. But for example, if you go to your job or the marketplace, and you will have like, oh, this was a bad day, and the second day was bad, you don't stop, because the third day to be bad, the odds are much less than for the first day. So maybe on the third day you will have more and more success that will put back or kick back those losses you had, or the weakest days you will have. So the success is not about judging the moment. Success is about periodically repeating, periodically learning, periodically trying is the success. And when you periodically try and learn, you learn the mistakes you make, and you learn the things you need, and you learn, for example, make a better dress because somebody was telling, oh, if you make this dress like this, I will buy 10 like those. And it's more about do it constantly and period. It's not about doing one time and you succeed. It's more like a gambling. Do it constantly and period. Repeat, period. Repeat it. And this is the goal to success. Now the opposite of it is being too emotional, being like, oh, I failed, I don't want to try it, I'm pointless, I'm nothing. And then somebody tries another thing and the same thing happens. He feels sad again and he fails again, and then he tells to himself, it's pointless for me to do something because I fail constantly. And to tell him, now, please turn back and stop. There is always a probability 50-50 that this day will be good, this day will be bad. If you throw a coin, you will have equal spreads. Sometimes there will be 4 in a row tails, sometimes there will be 4 in a row heads. If you jump into 4 in a row tails and then you decide to quit, you will never have 4 in a row these win streaks. You will never have them. I call it win streaks because I was reading on the internet the formula you can actually calculate out of 3,000 tries, out of 3,000 marketplaces where you will go and sell your stuff. You can calculate how many days you will be successful and how many days you will have fails. You can calculate. Now, from the point being here, what I want to tell is, don't be too emotional. Find balance. Be in balance. And the thing is also, for example, the all economical system, the all world in which we are living, will automatically come to a balancing point. It will balance out. These strong waves will stop and it will become in a balance state. And at that point, every need what humans will have will be balanced. There will not be a huge need for this, a huge need for that, a huge need for wars, a huge need for hunger, a huge need for this. There will be a perfect balance, And the thing is, what many people do is not many people do from business point of view, to make out balance, you just need to plant in some kind of a seed of fear, some kind of a seed of that creates out of balance, like stress, like fear, like doubts, like disbeliefs, like medical problems and stuff like this. So basically, it drops you out of balance. So again, what I want to tell is that this idea of probability theory, although I can speak to it lots and lots of more, brought me to complete, like when I look at trees, all I see is formula of probability. Whether it's set the first branch at 1/3 and split it into 2 branches, equally spread it, or split it into 1/3. One branch is 2/3 and one is 1/3 size. Now, and when you see that each next branch splitting, there are smaller branches and smaller branches, and the tree in a period will not have sufficient amounts of energy to supply all those branches, and it will stop growing. The tree will just stop growing. So because the tree has limited amounts of energy based maybe on the soil it has. So anyway, be in a balance, do your stuff periodically, and don't be too emotional, because there's always 50-50 chance. There's always a 50-50 chance. And that's it. It brought to me so much peace about the things I'm doing in my life. You don't need to actually judge. And we were making a joke with my brother also. He said, now actually, if you think about this, then there is a chance that every second of your friend has at least 1 children in his lifetime. There is a chance that every 4th of your friend will have at least 2 children in lifetime. There is a chance that every 8th friend that you have will have 3 children in his lifetime. And there is 1/16 chance, or maybe 1/32 a chance, but it's multiplied again and again. The chances odds are smaller every step next. That you will have, I need to turn here, that you will have at least 4 children in your life. But the chances of getting like 5 and more children are less and less, and it will definitely turn out in a probability. Now the other thing is that in a family there are 2 people So I don't know how it compares, but then we were laughing about why does a week have only 7 days? Because we started to laugh because the odds of having an 8th day in a week are so small, it's not even possible. Now, if you throw a coin like hundreds or 1,000 times, there is a so small possibility that you will have 7 or 8 throws in a row, 8 or 7 throws in a row, tails or only heads. There's a really small possibility to it. And there were questions given on the website. One of my friends gave it to me in English. And I want to read those questions on the next video. May it be tomorrow, may it be the next day after tomorrow, but I still have them. So have a good day and enjoy your beautiful beginning of the summer. Bye.